There is less and less room for us in our own country anymore. No room on our ballots, no room on social media, no room in the movies or TV. Where are your kind represented? When you think about what your values are and who you are as a person, you go to the media, and where are those people? Where are the people that are projecting people like you in a good light? You go to social media, you can't say what you want to say. You go to the store and you can't buy what you want to buy. You have to see all sorts of crazy stuff that you do not support. And you know that the businesses that you are shopping at are absolutely funding people who hate everything you stand for. There was an incident over in Germany just the other day where a series of mass lootings took place of some German stores. Migrant workers or illegal aliens were coming. Were they working? They might have been working inside the store as they were taking stuff. They're taking like hundreds of euros or hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of alcohol and just walking out the store with it. And the shop owner and the shop manager was basically criticizing this. And the leftist politicians of Germany were calling him a racist because these illegal aliens, or whatever you call them, migrants over in Europe, were entitled to steal. Now, this is a grocery store, but as they pointed out, Muslims walking out the door with hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of alcohol. Muslims aren't supposed to drink alcohol. Why would someone who's starving need alcohol, right? And he's talking about them stealing like specialty fish and like hundreds of, or lots and lots of pounds of shrimp and other things that you wouldn't be getting if you're just hungry, right? These aren't like people who are ashamed that they have to steal in order to survive, but yet they're going to walk out the door with steaks and seafood and all this kind of stuff like that, and alcohol, right? So that's what we're seeing here, is that we have millions and millions of people coming across the border into the United States, millions and millions of people coming into Europe, and we're being told that they are not here for equality. They're not here. We need to make room for them, not jobs, not opportunities, but rather they need to get special protection, not equal protection, mind you, but special protections that you and I aren't afforded. They're allowed to rob stores. They're allowed to kill people and not go to jail. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do because, if you go to the airport, what do you have to do? You have to show your boarding pass and you have to show ID. We have thousands and tens of thousands of people getting on planes right now inside the United States without ID. You say, well, TSA wouldn't allow that. TSA has set up special lines at security for people who don't have documentation. And these people just show a court order, which is they show up at court, they get asked their name, they tell them their name, or whatever they want to say their name is, and then the court writes it on a document and then gives them a court hearing for 8 years out is what we're hearing now inside the United States. 8 years out, they have to reappear and then decide whether or not they can stay. And so this person armed with this piece of paper with some writing typed on it, they use that to get on an airplane. You see any possible security issues with this? We have potentially Iranian Revolutionary Guard people walking across the southern border, walking in, claiming to Border Patrol that they're afraid of going home. They get a piece of paper with their name on it. They get on an airplane. Like, how stupid have we gotten? And they are being given free housing in a lot of cities. They're being given gift cards. We're hearing reports of $5,000 gift cards in some places. There are all these nonprofits out there that are encouraging this illegal crossing of the U.S. border, giving lots and lots of money. And most of the people coming across the border are military-age males. Let's not play games with this. We're not talking about families coming across the border. We're talking about many, many, many military-aged males. Now, I mean, crime is up in our cities. Is there room for us in our cities? Can you go to the nearest big city near you? Can you go downtown at night and walk through all the neighborhoods? You can go to Japan, you can walk through all the neighborhoods at 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning, no problem. You go to Korea, you can walk through all the downtown cities there, no problem. Can you do that in Europe? No. I spent a night, I may have spent 2 nights. I spent a night on the streets of Paris back in like 2015 or something like that. I spent a night on the street of Venice, and that was kind of scary. That was kind of scary back then, and it's way worse now. The downtown cores of European cities, the downtown cores of the United States cities, they're not for us anymore. It's too dangerous. You know that you have to be extremely careful. And you can't even protect yourself. If you protect yourself in one of those cities, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for sure. Because they have a right to attack you, apparently. There is no room in our cities. There's no room on our ballots. Maine just came out and took Donald Trump's name off the ballot. The Secretary of State up there is out there doing a PR tour, is getting all these kudos from the media, and she's just lapping up all the attention. I heard out there that the Colorado ballot has been corrected, but I have not yet dived into that just yet. Hopefully it has, but Maine apparently has now said that they're going to take Donald Trump's name off the ballot. So you can't vote for the candidates you want to. There's no room for you on the ballots. You can't say what you want to say on the social media. I can't say everything I want to say on social media. Even this video is making me a little bit nervous about what I'm saying, even as I'm not saying certain things, right? When you look at the movies and TV, are the people I'm a Baptist, right? I'm a conservative, Bible-believing Baptist. And the second largest denomination inside the United States is Southern Baptists, which is aligned pretty much with where I stand and such. And there are many, many, many more evangelical believers out there. But where do you ever see an evangelical or Baptist person portrayed as a normal, sane individual who is sincere about their faith? You ever seen that on TV? You ever seen that in the movies? You haven't. Every time there's faith, it's got to be Roman Catholic, because that's the only understanding that Hollywood has of the entire middle of the United States. Like it's outrageous. It's ridiculous when you look at the movies and stuff like that, and you're just like, I haven't seen a single Baptist, even though this represents tens of millions of Americans, right? Tens of millions of Americans, and yet never seen a representation of that. But I mean, of the hundreds of thousands of people who have decided to change what God gave them at birth, these people are represented everywhere on media. These hundreds of thousands are represented everywhere. The tens of millions of evangelical, Bible-believing, Protestants out there, completely unrepresented ever. And this is just them explaining to you that your country doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to these people with the purple hair. It belongs to them. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the guys with beards and dresses. It doesn't belong to you. If you are a woman that is going to college and you're going to compete in sports, you're told this isn't for you. This is for the beard guys. Right? This is for someone else. This doesn't belong to you. If you want to express your opinions politically or whatever like that, you're going to be taken off teams. You're going to be taken off jobs, right? Whereas the people who the country apparently belongs to can express their opinions, can use the company funds to promote their opinions and such things, and they get whole departments dedicated to promoting their causes. and you have to pay for them. If you're infuriated, if you're looking around the country and going, they're trying to squeeze us out of our own country. They're trying to bring all sorts of people in that don't belong here. They're trying to promote all sorts of diseases that don't belong here. And they're trying to normalize so many things that are just downright evil. This country, more and more, doesn't have room for the likes of you and me. If you're a moral, upright, standing, patriotic citizen, if you're of the wrong skin color, if you like people of the opposite gender, if you actually understand what gender is, there is not room anymore in this country for you. And we need to be thinking about how we can push back on these things. How can we push back on these things? How can we make room in our own country for ourselves? But even more so, how can we shut down these people trying to push us out? Right? Because that's really ultimately what it comes to. Just as over in the Red Sea, we see the Houthis firing missiles at the cargo ships as they go by in the United States and its allies trying to shoot down these missiles and drones. The people defending have to win every single battle. And it feels for so long like in the culture war here in the United States, we have been playing defensive. And every so often, one of their lawsuits slips through and something crazy happens. Somebody gets taken off the ballot or some crazy policy gets put into place. Right now, California is ramming through a bill that stores are not allowed to have boys and girls toys. Can't have the blue toy section and the pink toy section. You have to have just gender neutral section. It's ridiculous. This is a law because California doesn't have any bigger problems out there at all. They need to regulate the toy section of the department stores in their districts. That's where we are, folks. So how do we push back on this? And one of the things we've been talking a lot on this channel about is switching our spending away from these corporations that hate us. A lot of these corporations, when you look at it, when you go to Walmart and you look across the entire store, you look at all the shampoos, the soaps, all the different medical things. When you look at all the different food options you have out there, you have so many brands. It's so amazing. But when you realize that these brands, over 90% of all the purchases within retail stores now go to items that are produced by 11 companies. That's absolutely crazy. You see all these brands, but you don't see that all these brands belong to a few corporations. A few corporations make the decisions for all these things, and these corporations are absolutely advertising on all sorts of despicable stuff. They are twisting the arms of news media and everywhere else where they advertise, saying, you need to promote this. You need to sell this. You need to not cover that story. You need to cover this story over here. You need to have more inclusivity on your television show. And by that we mean you need to have more weirdos and less normal people. There was a show called Firefly that came out years and years ago, and people loved the show, but the network folks killed the show. And it was said afterwards the reason why they probably killed the show was the fact that it had a normal, stabilized marriage inside the show. Have you noticed that all the TV shows out there do not have a stable marriage? You don't have a man and woman married to each other in a stable relationship. Can't have that. It's always divorced people. It's always single people. It's always people in weird relationships and everything like that. Can't have regular marriages anymore that are normalizing what you and I would consider to be normal behavior. There is no room in our country. So if you spend money at stores, which we all do, right? You might want to consider switching your spending over to American-made, American-owned, family-owned businesses. And we have a program, the Switch program, where you put your information into the form, and one of the viewers on this channel will actually reach out to you, and they'll take you through a tour of the site and of the brands and such, and you can see all the prices. You do not have to purchase anything. You do not have to commit to purchasing anything. You can look at everything and decide whether this is right for you. If you sign up at that point, you're still not purchasing anything until you start putting things in your basket. I mean, it's I know a lot of people out there are like, it's a scam or something like that, and it's not. Millions of people have made the switch already inside the United States. Millions of people already made the switch, and we're really starting to gain a lot of momentum in putting pressure on a lot of these brands out there. We're not talking about spending more money, we're talking about spending the same money on different products. All right, friends, if you're interested in that, there's a link right here. Just fill out the form, and one of the folks on our channel will reach out to you. Not some corporation, folks from this channel. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. You can also find the link down in the pinned comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks. I will see you guys again tomorrow. God bless you all. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.